we should be able to sort out this particular problem which has been nagging for quite a period now of pending bills. At the technical and vocational education training institutions, the increasing enrollment has led to reduction in funding per trainee capitation grant over the years from 30,000 to as low as 17,000 a year. Thanks to the new funding model, the government will now provide scholarships and loans to students who will be joining universities and TVET institutions effective 2023-2024 financial year. The model introduces a student-centered funding model rather than PROG funding to institutions. Fundamentally, grants, scholarships will now be awarded on a need basis, just like loans have been awarded in the past. In the new funding model, all scholarships, loans, and bursaries will have to be means tested for each loan applicant. Consequently, funding to students will be funded according to their level of need, level, and program cost. You may recall that His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto announced the effective date of the new funding model on the 3rd of May 2023, paving the way for the opening of the portal for the placement exercise, which I launched on the 17th of May 2023 at the University of Nairobi. One other key highlight of this new model is that the government linked the process of placement of students to higher institutions from funding with effect from the 2023-2024 placement cycle. Ahead of the exercise, published all fees details of all programs in universities, colleges, national polytechnics, and other technical and vocational education and training institutions to guide students in making choices based on the income levels of the households, program of study, and the institution that they wish to join. I am therefore excited to announce that KUCCPS has completed processing applications of the 2022 KCSE cohort and other applicants for placement university and the TVET programs, which as strictly based on merit and choice. I commend the KUCCPS board, management, and staff for reforming the application portal and displaying the cost of degree and the TVET courses, which enabled applicants to consider financial implications among other factors when choosing institutions and courses in line with the new funding model. The focus of today's placement research is on those who applied for places in universities, national polytechnics, and other TVET institutions, as well as secondary teacher training colleges this year. I wish to urge KUCCPS to continue living up to its mandate of providing enhanced access to training opportunities in a fair and efficient manner. This is evident in the recent opening of the KUCCPS application portal for the Kenya Medical Training College and the 32 primary teacher training colleges. In the same vein, I encourage colleges and other line ministries that have not embraced the centralized student placement through KUCCPS to do so. I also urge all qualified Kenyans to take advantage of these new opportunities and apply for the KMTC and the teacher training college programs before the deadline. At the 2023-2024 placement cycle, the Commission for University Education and the Technical and Vocational Education and the Training Authority approved 768,624 capacities for student placement in 69 universities and 2010 TVET institutions and 3 secondary teacher training colleges. In the 2022 KCSE examination, 870,561 candidates were eligible for placement to universities and colleges. Of this, a total of 285,698 students submitted applications for placement to universities and colleges, of whom 285,167 have secured places in degree, diploma, craft, certificate, and arts and courses in 282 training institutions. Of this, 140,107, which 130,485 are to our public universities, and 9,622 are to private universities who are placed in degree programs. This accounts for 80.9% of the 173,238 Kenyans who qualified for degree programs. Further, 144,500 applicants have been placed in TVET institutions and 560 to secondary teacher training colleges. Notably, 9,673 applicants who qualified for degree courses from the 2022 KUCCPS cohort opted to be placed in TVET institutions. All the students who have been placed in the various universities, TVET institutions, and the TTCs can check their placement details by sending their KUCCPS index numbers via SMS to the number 20842. I repeat, all the candidates should be able to check where they have been placed by sending their KUCCPS index numbers via SMS to the number 20842. In addition, the placement results will be posted on the KUCCPS students portal. Following the successful completion of the placement process, I direct vice chancellors and the principals of the various colleges where students have been placed to engage their prospective students, parents, and guardians, and to inform them of the reporting dates and other joining instructions without delay. As we all know, the mandate of KUCCPS is not just limited to placement of students to universities and colleges. It also extends to offering career guidance and mentorship for students in all the secondary schools in the country, among others. It is only through effective career guidance to students while they are still in high school that they are able to identify their talents, skills, interests, and abilities so that they can better select the careers that they want to pursue in life. I encourage universities and colleges to partner with the KUCCPS and secondary schools heads association in offering career guidance to secondary school students. In this regard, I'm happy to announce that KUCCPS has also today donated 30,000 copies of its career guide handbook to all secondary schools in Kenya. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, I thank the KUCCPS board for that great move towards enhancing career guidance for students in our schools. On the same, I urge TVET institutions and the universities to start preparing to receive the CPC graduates in a few years. These are part of the handbook career guide that we are giving to all our secondary schools, and they should be able to provide proper guidance. Thank you. CPC, as you know, we have engaged in a very systematic rollout of that system. We are on course, and in 2 years' time, the program will be in senior secondary school where we have 3 pathways: STEM, social sciences, sports, and performing art. And we are already asking the senior schools to prepare for that entry of that grade, as well as asking our universities to start making the necessary preparations, because in the year 2029, they should be expecting the first cohort of our CPC, and also to assure the country that we are mitigating on the various challenges, including the teacher shortage. You are aware that the government has been able to employ now 56,000 so far, ever since this new administration came into being. I now turn to the second agenda of the day, which is to launch the application portal for the new funding model for higher education in Kenya. For the first time, students whose households are at the bottom of the pyramid shall enjoy equal opportunities in accessing university education and TVET education through 100% government funding. This means the households are not expected to pay anything for the program cost, and additionally, the students will receive upkeep from their own proceeds. Out of the 2022 KCSE graduates, over 45,000 university students and 42,000 TVET students categorized as vulnerable and extremely needy will be fully funded under the government scholarships and loans. Their categorization will be realized through a reliable scientific method, commonly known as means testing instrument, used to determine the students' level of financial needs to ensure they are supported adequately. However, the continuing students will not be affected by this funding model and will continue to receive their funding based on the government's existing model. And I understand there are a few concerns from the Vice Chancellors. I was talking to the Chair of Vice Chancellors, and I told him to relax, because as a government, we are on a serious engagement. Actually, even when I was here, my colleague from National Treasury, we are engaging on the same. We have been engaging on the same with the Principal Secretary, even as we were out there with him in Rome. And one of the things that we are presenting in the coming week to Cabinet as a Cabinet memo is on this, so that whatever gaps there are, I'm sure that we are going to take the necessary measures as might be necessary. Since the Presidential Directive on 3rd May 2023 on the rollout, the new funding model, the government has developed and completed the higher education financing portal to receive applications for both scholarships, loans, and bursary for university and TVET students. Students who require funding must make formal application through higher education financing portal www.hef.coke. I repeat again, students who require funding must make formal application through higher education financing portal www.hef.coke. It is now my pleasure to announce that the scholarships, loans, and bursaries application platform is now ready for use. I therefore direct Vice Chancellors and Principals to ensure letters of admission are released by the 2nd of August 2023. This will also allow students to apply for loans and bursaries from the 3rd of August 2023 to the midnight of 27th August 2023. I urge students to ensure they stick to the set timelines to ensure speedy processing of scholarships and bursaries, since most universities are preparing to admit first-year students in September. I urge all other relevant government agencies to ensure a smooth and successful implementation of this model. In conclusion, I wish to declare the higher education financing portal www.hef.coke officially opened.